As we're building our financial fitness, it's important that we spend the time and do the work necessary to understand our credit report and build up our credit. Your credit says a lot about you. A lot of people don't understand credit reports and how they work. Reality, what they are, is it's a percentage of the likelihood of you going 90 days late on any account. 90 days late is the benchmark of not good. And so your credit rating is based on the likelihood of you going 90 days late on any account. And there's 5 factors that make up your credit report. Before I get into those factors, I want to explain to you why having a good credit score is important. Let's say you're purchasing a home. There's certain ranges of your credit score that allow you to get certain interest rates. And the higher the score is, the better the interest rate that you can get. On many loan programs, if your credit score is below 600, you can't get a loan. And there's other programs that your credit score needs to be between 600 and 660. And at that point, you'd get a certain rate. Between 660 and 700, you'd get a certain rate. And above 700, which is a great credit score, you get another rate. And you get the best rate. And having a good rate can really save you tens of thousands of dollars over the course of the life of the loan you're talking about. Let's say you were purchasing a home for $200,000. Well, 1% of that is $2,000. So what that would mean, if your interest rate was 1% higher because you had a lower credit score, it would cost you $2,000 more every year for that loan, which comes up to almost $200 a month on your mortgage payment. So a credit score of 630 versus a credit score of 700 could cost you $2,000 a year over the course of a 30-year mortgage. That's $60,000 that you spent extra by not having your credit score where you want it to be. So it's important to understand credit score and why it's important and how it works. And the reality is it's not very difficult to get it to get it up. And I'm going to show you some principles of how the credit score is calculated so you can know what's necessary to get your credit score up. It's also important to have credit, because what credit does is it gives you leverage. Leverage is the ability to lift more than you're able to lift by yourself. Think about like a 5-foot pry bar, a big steel pry bar. If you stick that under something, a big rock that's really heavy, and you can step on one end of that pry bar and lift up that heavy rock that you don't have the strength to lift up by yourself, but that pry bar gave you leverage to do something that you couldn't do in your own strength. And that's what credit does. A good credit allows you to borrow money, which allows you to do more than you could do with the money that you have in your pocket, the money that you have in your savings. So leverage is a tool that allows you, it's a principle that allows you to do more with somebody else's money. So purchasing a home, it's rare that somebody is able to purchase a home with cash that they have in the bank. But with leverage and with credit, they're able to borrow and use somebody else's money to purchase something that they want for themselves. So that's what credit gives you the ability to do, is to borrow, which allows you to leverage, which allows you to lift more than you could in your own strength. Think about somebody building a large building. It's very costly and expensive to buy the materials and the labor necessary to build a large skyscraper. But the return on that building is phenomenal when you're leasing out hundreds of offices and retail spaces, and the possibilities are limitless. But without leverage, the investors wouldn't be able to build that building because, again, it's so difficult to have that much money sitting around ready to be used. So the ability to borrow money and having good credit is real important.